Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord Modded and our Berserker playthrough. Now, what is going on here? Why are these guys the same exact names? Do I have to redo this? Yeah, there we go. I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. I am sure I just spent about 30 minutes customizing my troops. Yes, very good indeed. Anyway, there you go. This is our main unit tree. As you can see, I have used the utmost of my imagination, thanks to one of you in the comments, by the way, that said that this would probably be a pretty cool name for one of our higher tier troops. And there you go. He is the tier 5 one. So that's going to be pretty fun to see him in action. And otherwise, we just have very standard names. Recruit, Soldier, Brute, Tyrant. I think someone else actually mentioned Brute as well, which I very much appreciate. I like that. And I came up with Tyrant, so I thought to myself, yeah, let's do that. And then we also have the upgraded elite units, which are, well, they're basically the noble troops, right? So I have these guys. Vanguard, Vanquisher, Destroyer, Breadmaker, yes, and Super Bear, because at the end here, I kind of thought to myself, it's going to get a little bit silly if I just continually choose things like Vanguard, Vanquisher, Destroyer, and then I was thinking about Obliterator, or, you know, something along those lines, Slayer, and so on. And I didn't really want to have those kinds of things again and again, because I feel like it just becomes silly, you know what I mean? So I decided to go off the deep end and instead choose something completely different. Anyway, this is what this guy is currently using, and these are his stats, as you can see right here. He's using heavy executioner's axes with an option to get hooked javelins. Now, I'm not very good at understanding these particular variations, but I assume that this is just the set that they can get, right? So if I were to change one of these heavy executioner's axes and change it to more javelins or more thrown weapons of some kind, then they would have a greater chance of having more of those, right? I assume that that's how it goes, because in my other people here, my other units and everything, you can see here that we have variations like this. So you can have a bamboo handled axe and a shield, bamboo handled axe and a shield, and then you have the opportunity to get the same kind of thing here. And then I went a little bit different and got some blunt weaponry, as well as a shield, of course. And then we also have a couple of options for thrown weapons as well. So they can spawn in with a shield, an axe, and 2 harpoons. Or at least I hope that's how it's going to be. Anyway, most of them have relatively good gear, as you can see right here. And they also have the culture as Botanian, so they have the right look. But most of them are looking pretty nice now. And I'm very much hoping that they're going to work out for us quite nicely. So yeah, obviously the game is going to save because I haven't moved around for a very long period of time at all, but now we are going to start moving and we're going to do a task or something like that, right? Yeah, we should probably do a task. We should probably also recruit some people. Recruits, oh, these guys are looking beastly. They are looking very beastly right now. So let's go into, oh, are you serious? Look at that. He actually solved the issue himself. Did you see that? That message at the top there? It said that Tharos has solved the issue at hand, whatever that may have been. So that just meant that he completed the task that was available there. What a terrible, terrible person he is. Anyway, deliver the herd to Poros. Okay, sure. Yeah, I think I can probably do that. 12 herds of sheep. Sure. Why not? I mean, this is really not going to do much for me, and Poros is only over there, so I suppose it's not that bad. Hilariously enough, I don't think I have a huge amount of food, so it could very well be that we end up eating some of this sheep, which we are obviously being paid to transport, which is not exactly the greatest idea, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, to do with that dismemberment mod, okay, I think some people were a little bit concerned with the slow motion effect that comes into play whenever there's a dismemberment. Well, don't worry about that. You can turn that off if you want to. Personally, I think it's really cool, but I 100% understand that you may not want it to do the slow motion effect every single time you have a dismemberment, because then it's just going to be a consistent display of slow motion all the time. However, I'm going to leave it on, at least for this episode, and maybe for one more, maybe 2 more, dependent. But what I really wanted to do was get a massive two-handed sword or axe or something, and then go to town with the dismemberment mod, with the slow motion, because you can imagine huge cleave effects of the sword against multiple opponents, and being able to take both, well, not both, but all of the enemies down at the same time. That would be, in my opinion, super fun. So we'll see what happens with that, but hopefully my guys are all going to have weapons now. Yes, it seems like they all... Wait a minute, does this... Are you serious right now? He doesn't. He has 2 shields, or 3 shields. Why does he have 2 shields? I have no idea. Everyone else has a weapon. Look. Who is this guy? Just a regular recruit. Okay, well, these guys are obviously going to absolutely destroy these bandits. I don't think we have to worry too much about that. But yeah, there's the slow motion, as you can see right there. I'm not sure if it does it on every single... Yes, it does seem to do it on every single kill. So we might have to disable that because it might be a little bit too prevalent. But it's so fun, you know? It is just so fun. I cannot believe these guys are getting away from us right now. Guys, could you chase after them? Yeah, it seems like they are actually chasing after them. This guy has a sledgehammer as well, by the way. I gave a couple of my guys sledgehammers. And this guy's using a literal 4 sledgehammers. That's probably the reason why he's moving so slowly, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. This is the first time, obviously, that I'm taking them into an actual battle, so do bear with me about, you know, the, about the actual loadouts of our friends, because I obviously do want to make them into the greatest possible fighting force that there can be, but it is a little bit of trial and error sometimes. Because here's the thing. This guy... Wait a minute. I think this is the problem. The shield was in the first slot here. I assume that's what's going on. So I need to change that. Okay, so yeah, we cannot do tier 6, of course. So tier 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then we'll just change these around. I don't really want throwing... Are you serious? I don't want throwing weapons. Thank you very much. Okay, one-handed and shield. There we go. And that's going to be good enough. Okay, so now we want to find... what about a sickle or something like that? That's pretty nice. Let's go for a sickle. 2 sickles, and then we'll go for some curved round shields, and that should be good. And now this also needs to change. I obviously did not do anything with the recruits. I was mainly focusing on other people in my army, but that has obviously caused a bit of a problem here. Anyway, let's go for some more curved round shields, I guess. They seem pretty decent. And then, yeah, I mean, this is fine, right? Isn't that fine? Isn't that okay? I'm actually not entirely sure how this works, because on the one hand, is it just, I mean, some variation sets to change. So I can assume that they're going to spawn in with these weapons and these shields, right? I mean, that should be how it goes, yeah? So I'm thinking they're going to spawn in with this Highland Dagger, Kite Sparring Shield, or Curved Round Shield and Falk's Knife. Is that not how it works? I could be wrong. I'm hoping that that's how it works. It seems to work for everyone else, so I'm not entirely sure why these guys had an issue. But let's see what happens, because I'm kind of a bit, you know, it's one of those things that you just got to try things, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then, well, you're just going to have to go back to the drawing board and test things out however you so desire. There's a tournament going on here, so I might want to do that. We need to speak to... Who do we need to speak to? Is it Dorian? I think it's Dorian, isn't it? Yes, Dorian Sourwine. There he is. There we go. Yes, here you are. Okay, I don't particularly care about the sheep, by the way. It was basically just for the cash. I just wanted the cash as much as possible. And let's sell all of this for an additional little bit of extra. I'm not going to sell the... I'm not going to sell the weapons because I might be doing some smithing and stuff like that, so we'll see. But otherwise... Yeah, you can also import your custom troop tree as well. So if someone else, a friend of yours or something, downloads the mod, they can create a custom troop tree for you and vice versa, and then you're going to be able to import their selections into your game, and the same thing with them. So if you want to make something for them, then you can do that. pretty cool in my opinion. I actually like that a lot. I think that's a great community tool. Anyway, this guy, escort merchant caravan. That might be pretty fun, but I'm going to go into an arena fight right now, because this is definitely going to help us out with the amount of money that we have right here. And there's also a relatively decent helmet for the prize, so I'm looking forward to that too. Oh no, I'm actually up against a couple of my own units. Are you serious? Okay, that's... oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. I have a sword. Okay, I should be okay. Stabbed. Nice. Taking him down. Okay, so that obviously wasn't a kill, so the dismemberment mod did not come in to effect, which is quite nice actually. Alright. Yes, more swords, thank you. Yes. That was actually a brute, one of our custom units that we just took out there. I was a bit scared, suffice it to say. that guy with the bear helm and the rug around his shoulders and everything, it's kind of a bit scary. Anyway, I don't have enough cash. Do I have enough cash? Oh no, I do have enough cash. A little bit of extra cash. I'm kind of worried. Anyway, let's see if I can do this. Nice. Okay, he actually did lower his guard for a second there. Okay, also, you might have noticed, if you took a look in the description, because there's a full list of mods down there. I know I think I received a comment that said, can you give us a full list of your mods? Well, I did mention it in the previous episode, but I'll mention it again. I always, nowadays at least, I mean in the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 series, maybe 4 or 5 series back, I started including my load order and the mods that I'm using, as well as the links to them in the description, so you can check that out down below, and then you can find exactly what kind of setup I'm using, and then you can customize it to your liking if you want to. And we're up against one of my brutes. Oh no, this is really bad. Ow. Whoa. Okay, yeah, that guy really took quite a beating, didn't he? Yes. Anyway, as I was mentioning before, I wanted to actually tell you about another mod that I have, which in my opinion is really, really cool. It's such a small change, but it makes a huge difference to the feel of scaling. And I know, okay, you know, scaling might not be the most exciting, you know, topic to talk about or anything like that, but generally, I would say that scaling is one of the main issues that Bannerlord has at the moment. And there have been a number of mods in the past that have attempted to rectify the scaling problem. And I'm talking about higher tier units being able to be killed very easily by lower tier units if they are outnumbered by a small margin. So for example, 5 recruits can probably kill 1 higher tier unit. Just because there's 5 of them, you know, 5 recruits against 1 of these guys. Yeah, okay. But bear in mind that those 5 recruits, they're basically farmers. They're basically peasants that have just picked up a weapon and have joined an army. They should not be able to beat a highly trained military professional, right? I mean, generally in realistic terms, do you think a martial artist or something like that would get beaten by a bunch of peasants? Highly unlikely, right? It's highly unlikely. I mean, it's possible, of course, dependent on the situation, but it is still unlikely. So I installed a mod that is a very minor change, but basically what it does is every single level, I believe it gives me 2% more HP. That's it. I think it gives me 2% more HP or 5% more HP or something like that, and it also works for every single unit in the game, or at least I think it should work for every single unit in the game. If it doesn't, then, well, then I'll just end up being a little bit less likely to die, and let's face it, I am most likely going to get myself killed by slipping off a wall or something and dying by my own ineptitude. But if it does apply to every single one of the troops in the game, then that's going to mean that higher tier troops will be just that little bit more powerful than the peasants. And so as a result, everyone's not going to end up with having, well, with having 100 HP or 110 HP or however much it is, depending on perk selection. And I generally think that's a good idea, because when you get to, like, I don't know, level 10, level 20, level 30, you expect to have more HP than someone that's level 1. But that hasn't been the case, so in my opinion, that is very, very cool. Anyway, I'm going to be going for Shield Bearer here in the one-handed perk tree, because that does increase the infantry troops' movement speed that we have, and it reduces the effect of wielding a shield on your combat movement speed. I am never really going to be using a shield in this series, but there may come a time, I don't know, there may come a time when we may use one. I don't think so personally, but yeah, you never know. You never know. Maybe there's going to be some time where I might use one. Maybe in you know, in these tournaments or something like that. That would probably make quite a bit of difference. Anyway, I've increased my athletic skill focus points all the way to maximum now, which is really nice. And now what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to get a two-handed sword. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Getting a two-handed sword this early is extremely unlikely, and if I go to... Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Now this is all new to me because, aha, yes. Okay, so the developers of Bannerlord, they introduced this ability to create weapons for people and then deliver those weapons for money and relation and so on. I think this is a very cool idea, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, really, because if you think about this, think about me making a throwing axe. If I make a throwing axe and I can sell it to a merchant for, I don't know, 6,000 or something, why would I take it to this guy for 2,400? I'm not entirely sure if they've normalized the cost of selling these thrown weapons or anything. But if they have, then that's absolutely fantastic and good on them. But if they haven't, then I'm not sure how this is going to really work. Anyway, I'm going to buy 5 hardwood here because I do want to go into the smithy and I do want to smelt a couple of things down. And we're also going to be doing this. There we go. So let's smelt this, and we need to smelt this as well. My smithing skill really needs to start leveling up. I actually should get a little bit more focus points in smithing too. I think that's going to really make a big difference. But yeah, I do want to try and make a two-handed sword later down the line as well. So that's obviously going to be something that I will try to focus on too. And we also need to be a bit wary of, well, generally making it so that I have the ability to do that in the end, because if I don't, then we're going to be without a very high tier two-handed sword. I mean, I generally might be able to do it anyway, but you never know. Oh, look at this. I wish to buy your wool weavery. Look at that. You could do that straight away without even, you know, having to walk through the town. That's a nice improvement, I gotta say. No offense, but I don't think you can help me. You don't have enough troops for this task. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Well, I agree, but still, how dare you? Oh well, never mind. Okay, what about this guy? Doesn't he have something? Oh, he needs grain seeds. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll find that grain seed for you. How much do you need? I didn't even check. How much does he need? 35? Really? 35? That's quite a significant amount, to be honest. Anyway, we're probably going to head down to Azurai territory relatively soon anyway, because generally... Oh, wow. This is going to be super expensive. I'll sell the charcoal here. And I'll buy a horse. Buy a couple of horses. There we go. It's going to make a bit of a difference. And there we are. Okay, yeah. But generally, I'm going to go down to Azurai territory. They usually have the greatest amount of tasks. And because we are indeed recruiting regular custom units from these places, it really doesn't matter whether I actually recruit from any particular culture at all, which is also one of the very cool things about having My Little Warband installed, because it then enables me to have much more freedom in where I end up going. And does everyone have a weapon? I think they do. Yes. Fantastic. Yes, every single person has a weapon. That is great. Okay, let's tell them to auto-delegate and see what happens. I'm very, very happy to see this. I might need to change my brutes around a little bit because them having so many sledgehammers equipped is definitely going to slow their overall combat speed down quite a bit, and that's obviously something that I would prefer to avoid. Unfortunately, these guys are literally running away as soon as they possibly can, which is really not giving us a good opportunity to do much. As you can see though, that kill that I got just now, it did not end in a dismemberment, which meant that the slow motion effect didn't kick in. So generally you are going to be able to kill things, but then not have the dismemberment come into effect. So that's actually going to be quite nice, because then that means it's not going to consistently give you the slow motion over and over again. But obviously I'm not entirely sure on the percentage chance for that. I think it's like a 30% chance or something. I'm not entirely sure. But so far we've been quite lucky, or, you know, dependent on your perspective, quite unlucky in having it activate that many times. Anyway, I'm going to go in and fight these guys. Hello there. We're just going to try and fight as many of these looters as we possibly can. And we're just going to go auto-delegate, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I still haven't really figured out how to use RTS camera, but I can assume that I will be able to find that out when I die, potentially, because that's going to give me the opportunity to command my troops and to also take over some of my troops when I'm dead. So I can basically control them when I have perished, which is actually really nice. Oh, they're already running. How dare you? How dare you, sirs? Oh yeah, so obviously I did say that I'm not going to be having ranged weapons or anything like that, but as a bunch of you said that you'd like to see some thrown weapons on our troops, I thought to myself, okay, sure, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. I mean, if we can customize the troop trees, then why not, right? You know, we might as well. And so apart from the fact that we've obviously, you know, added thrown weapons to our troops, I'm also going to be adding thrown weapons to my own loadout. So I will be using a two-handed axe or a two-handed sword or something like that. Or if I can actually get the opportunity, I might try to use a two-handed hammer as well. Unfortunately, I still can't do anything here, which is very, very unfortunate indeed. Anyway, I'm just going to sell this. I did say, by the way, just to address this very early on, I did say, by the way, that I might be doing roguery skill, but I haven't checked Bannerlord perks whether roguery skill is very good at the moment. I mean, I'm gonna see, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna check it after this episode. Anyway, we have athletic skill perks. Decreases your armor weight by 15%, and tier 3 plus foot troops in your formation gain 4% movement speed. I will be taking that because while the 10% weapon handling is certainly very good, and I'd highly recommend taking that if you're worried about weapon speed or anything, I personally will want to run and move as fast as I possibly can, and I want my troops to run and move as fast as they can. So that's exactly why I'm taking that. And also the reason why I'm still using a one-handed weapon. Although I'd love to use a two-handed, it would be so fun to do that. Anyway, this guy is wanting to raid this. I really do not appreciate him doing that, to be honest, because I'd love to be able to head in there and get that particular village's quest. But oh well, never mind. Alright, this is where we are outnumbered for once, and this is actually a daytime attack as well. I'm very much looking forward to this. Everyone has a weapon. These guys have... Wait a minute. It looked like they were using wooden swords for a second, but they're actually using actual metal ones, so that's pretty good. Wow, these guys are looking pretty nice, I gotta say. I really do like this custom troop tree thing. I really think this makes a huge difference to feeling like you are actually leading your own warband. It really is super nice to see that. Nice. There's a dismemberment right there, and I gained a level. Ah, now I'm getting murdered. Oh, I'm getting murdered. There we go. His arm's gone. His armor's gone. Take him down. That guy completely just ended up dying very easily. Oh no! Okay, it seems like some of my troops actually did end up running away. I'm not entirely sure what is happening right now. Okay, this guy actually wants to fight. Never mind, he's dead. But yes, in general, that was kind of harsh. I'm not entirely... I suppose it is because my morale is pretty low. And, I mean, I don't even know what my morale is, to be fair. But generally, I felt like we were doing quite well. I mean, look at that. The looters only killed 7 of us. Or eliminated 7 of us, at least. Because... I mean, we were heavily outnumbered, and yet we still have 9 troops. If they had not run away, we would have won that so incredibly easily, but apparently they decided that it would be a better idea to get rid of it. Okay, well, I'm just going to speed things up, because I still have super speed installed. And it seems like I'm the only one left. Is there only one looter? If I'm the only looter left, I mean, if I'm the only looter left. If the enemy only has 1 looter remaining, then that is absolutely hilarious. I have to be very careful here then. Oh, there he is. Oh, he is actually coming towards me. Oh, this is going to be amusing. What if he literally kills me right now? I'm worried. I'm very worried. Oh, hello there. He's got thrown weapons. Okay. Well, that was easy enough. That's what you get. I will now teabag. There we go. Yes. Fantastic. That's what you get. Alright, so I'm almost 100 in one-handed weapon proficiency. I like that quite a bit. And otherwise, we also gained a decent amount of renown too. That's pretty cool. I just cannot believe that my forces decided to run away at such an early stage of the battle. I mean, literally, there was no need for them to do that. We didn't even lose that many units very quickly, did we? Maybe we did, and I just didn't realize. I was just having too much fun looking at the slow motion and everything. I thought that was super, super cool. Anyway, let's get some gloves, and these boots are absolutely awful, so nothing really necessary there. And these guys are literally just running around and everything. Okay. So let's just continue to recruit some people here. Ooh, noble units. Noble units can be recruited here as well, so that's quite nice. These guys hopefully will not attack me, at least right now. I would like to restore myself. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I should really spec a little bit into medicine, because I did not do that last time, and I thought to myself, this is really kind of good. Like, I really need to level up my medicine. And having the ability to restore my own forces really fast would be very nice, especially considering I'm going to be playing kind of, I don't know, kind of like a commando kind of unit, kind of like a skirmisher kind of unit, and maybe, just maybe, a brigand of some kind. Because obviously, if I do end up leveling my roguery skill, there's a bunch of time for me to select whether I want to do that, of course. You know, we're still very low level. Then it would probably make sense for us to take medicine, so that we can continually do things, you know, so that we can do things more often, and you know, we can raid villages, and we can take people on, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but as you can see, my HP has increased by 2, so it seems like I gained 2 HP per level. So in the end, I'm going to be getting, when I'm level 30, I'll have 160 HP, which is pretty good in my opinion. I don't think that's too bad, right? Okay, well, we completely destroyed these guys. Yeah. I was actually hoping that... Oh, hello there! Oh, no! Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, I was too late. I had no idea that there was still someone, you know, in range. I do need to get some thrown weapons. I think that would help me a great deal. So let's just do that. There we go. A couple more people leveled up. And there we have it. Okay. Alright, so now we just have one more group, and I should be able to just literally send my troops in and win. Yep, there we go. Easy enough. And bear in mind that as I, of course, am using a custom troop tree, I can recruit these guys anywhere, so I don't even need to return back to any particular location or another. It is just so nice to have that kind of freedom. It really is. Anyway, let's just wait here for some time. These guys might want to attack me, but they don't seem to. I do need to wait here and restore myself. You can see here just purely how slow the medicine is. So I should really as you can see, it actually gives you a nice breakdown of stats. Didn't I ask for this actually in a previous series or something like that? If I did, then I very much appreciate them giving us this breakdown, because it really helps to inform the player as to what kind of benefit each skill is going to provide them. And I think that really makes a huge difference to, you know, your thought process. Because you think to yourself, oh, medicine gives me this chance to you know, survive this, gives healing rate, gives all that wonderful stuff. Yeah, I'm liking that a great deal, so I like that. Anyway, I'm gonna level up my one-handed, think a little bit more one-handed, and then we're gonna go for 2 more points in endurance, and that's it. I'm gonna leave vigor and endurance where they are right now, and then I'm gonna start leveling my intelligence next, and then I'm gonna level up my medicine skill. And then after that, we might level up our roguery. As you can see, this is basically all roguery does. It just gives me additional battle loot. But as I said before, I need to do a little bit of research about the various perks and whether they are indeed implemented at the moment. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching and for your support on this new series. And I'll see you next time.